All right, Shalom, and welcome to another show of GMS Collage. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai first and foremost. Giving double honors to the elder apostles of GMS who rule well, and also honor and salutations to you other brothers that are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. All right, so today I want to touch on something that's been going on in Israel lately. The latest news was with this summit that happened over there in New York City, and how you had this group of men, all with different doctrines, all with different beliefs on how the scriptures are broken down, and they still, despite that, got together and had this summit, and it was all about loving one another and joining together, joining forces, and I decided I wanted to put my 2 cents on it, and I wanted to touch on one word in particular, and that word is a standard. All other brothers have gone into doctrine and what the meaning of the word is. So I won't harp on it too much. I'll touch on it a little bit, but not too much. But the word I wanted to harp on, just to put my spin on it, my 2 cents, was the word standard. All right. Now having a standard is a basic principle. Everything you do in life is based on standards. Having a rule or a measure by which you do things. So for instance, when you're driving down the highway or you're driving locally, you have to follow a standard by which you drive your car. You got to drive a certain speed. You have to be able to discern whether or not a car is far away from you or not before you cut into an intersection or before you switch lanes. So there's all these different standards that you follow when you're driving. Same thing with eating. When you're eating, you have a standard by what you eat. You don't go around eating grass and dirt, right? You eat food that's nutritious to your body. You don't go, to, I don't know, some toy store and buy a box of crayons and start eating crayons. That's a standard. You have a standard for eating. The same thing with putting on clothes. I don't know. You put your clothes on one leg at a time. You can't just hold the hold the pants up in the air and jump in the pants with both legs. There's a standard by which you have to do these things. So what I'm getting at is having a standard is a basic principle throughout whatever you do. And by you saying that you want to let all these doctrines get together and all these people get together, and you're allowing people to do whatever they want to do as long as we're together in peace, that's not following the principle that the Heavenly Father laid down, which is standardizing. So I work in manufacturing, and it's a 3-shift type of setting where you have a first shift, second shift, third shift. So it's a 24-hour operation. And what happens when you have 3 different shifts? You got people operating machinery 3 different ways. So the best way to be efficient in operation is to standardize the way you want people to run that machinery, right? So if that principle is everywhere, it's everywhere. So really quick, I want to touch on just so all them people getting together. It's Amos actually. This is Amos 3:3. It says, "Can 2 walk together except they be agreed?" Right? There's a question that's being asked, and the answer is no. How can 2 walk together without agreeing with each other? They have to these 2 things, or these 2 people have to be in agreement in order for them to walk together. And if they're not in agreement, they have no business being with each other, right? But when you don't have a standard by which you live by, which is how you perform and how you conduct yourself within the truth, you'll allow anything, man. So I'm going to give some more examples, right? So if let's say you don't follow a standard way to eat food, right? What's going to happen? You're going to die, right? That's the simplest way, right? But let's break it down. So let's say you do eat those crayons, right? What's going to happen? It's going to poison your body, right? Then all your blood cells are working hard to break down this poison to get rid of it, and then other parts of your body suffer. The organs in your body start to suffer. Your liver, your kidneys, your intestines, and then the body eventually breaks down from being poisoned. So that's why you follow a standard of what you eat. You can eat, vegetables, fruits, your proteins with chicken, I don't know, steak, whatever you decide to eat. But there have to be things that are in agreement with the body. You can't just accept any kind of food, and it's the same thing with the truth. You can't just accept any kind of doctrine or any kind of way to break the scriptures down at the expense of peace. This is what happens when you base your whole belief system on let's do everything opposite of what GMS is doing. You out there, you're just looking crazy. So I wanted to there's a couple of scriptures I want to go into. One was, I think, Jeremiah. I think it was Jeremiah. Was it? Let me see. Let me look it up. I think it's Jeremiah 50. You know what? I'll do it this way because I don't know exactly what scripture I had written down. Bear with me for a second. This is 51 and 12. I was gonna say 51 and 10. Would it work the same? So it's Jeremiah 51 and 12. It says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, right? So where are we? We're within the walls of Babylon, right? This is where we are. So we are to set up a standard, right? We have to live by a certain way. And people get angry at us for being the way we are, but we're just staying hold to our standard. There's certain things that we don't allow in this truth, and there's certain things that are allowed in the truth. There's a standard by which we live by in this truth, right? So it says, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen. So the watchmen are supposed to live by that standard, right? The people that are watching at the walls of Israel, right? They're supposed to live by a certain standard. They're supposed to follow a certain rule of thumb, so to speak. Okay? It says, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So how are you going to be a watchman over the people of Israel when you're not living by a standard? If you're just allowing anything, that's Satanism, right? Ain't that what Aleister Crowley said? Didn't he say, "Do as thou wilt, whatever you want"? And if you ask a Satanist, you ask an everyday Satanist, there's videos on it on YouTube. Their standard is do as thou wilt, as long as you're not hurting anybody. That sounded just like what they were saying at that summit. It ain't about the doctrine. We just getting together in love. It's the same thing. That's Satanism, man. This matter of fact, let me get this. This is Matthew 7 and 13. Right? It says, enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be that go in thereat. Right? So the broad way, anybody can come in. And what do the scriptures say? That leads to destruction. You people are so focused on doing something contrary to GMS that you're not even this is a simple thing to pay attention to. They teach this scripture, Matthew 7 and 13, in Sunday school. This is something that they teach in the churches. And you people are so adamant about being against GMS that you're not even paying attention. This is a simple thing to read. I'm sure you read Matthews. I'm going to read this again. It says, enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. You guys, you might as well be, matter of fact, I want to look that word up too. Let's look that word up. This is the word Catholic, because that's what you guys are. You might as well be a bunch of Catholics walking around. So let's see what the word Catholic means, so you can understand why I say that. Right? It says, especially of a person's taste, including a wide variety of things, all embracing. So when you're sitting at a summit and you say, we don't care about what doctrine this person has over here, we don't care about what doctrine that person has over there, as long as we join in together in love, that means you're a Catholic. You're just as good. You might as well go over there with Comfy and the Comfortables, because that's all that place has become, a Catholic church. Anybody can do whatever they want. It is a wicked thing to do whatever you want, to join hand in hand with all different kinds of things, to be without a standard. So let's read some more of this definition. Talks about members here of a Catholic Church. Let's see. I might have to go to, let's see. Here we go. It comes from the Greek word katholikos, which means universal. So let's look up that word. Let's look up the word universal. Universal definition. It says, of affecting or done by all people or things in the world or in a particular group, applicable to all cases. Universal adult suffrage. General, ubiquitous, comprehensive, common, omnipresent, all-inclusive, all-embracing. So, if you read the scriptures, right? Because I'm looking at this word general, which is one of the synonyms of universal. If you read the scriptures and you let's get specific. When you read about the building of the temple, right? When you took in hand, Salaki, when the Lord was given the instruction on how to build the temple, right? Did he just say, all right, just build this, put something on the top, put some walls up, put some, a door in the front, and put something over there? That's something general. That's a general. You will be able to build a house. If somebody say, yeah, you need 4 walls, cover it up on the top, and put a door. You can take that instruction and build it how you want to build it. You don't know how big it's gonna be. You don't know how small it's gonna be. You don't know who's allowed in there, who's not allowed in there. But when you read it, right, the Lord got specific, right? He had a standard on how he wanted that place to be built, and in turn, it was built exactly how he wanted it to be. There was no overhang. There was no waste, right? It was specific and detailed how he wanted it, a standard. All right. So let's go back to the scripture here. It says, this is Matthew 7:13. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. That's Catholicism, man. That broad gate is Catholicism. Let's go look up this word broad really quick. Bear with me, this fucking computer's fucked up. Let's see. The word broad. Alright, so I'm going to play it. Hopefully it's not too loud. If it is, I apologize.
Strong's G 2149. Yerucharas.
Yerucharas, right? Trying to put the accent on it. So it says here, it says spacious and broad, right? That sounds a lot like the word Catholic, right? Let's see if they got anything else in here. Spacious, broad, going into the same thing. All right. So when you're being broad, right? Let's make it analogous, right? If you have a doorway, right? And the door, like, for instance, like a secret club or something, right? If anybody can get in, you're gonna have riffraff coming in your club. You're gonna have niggas who sell drugs, shoot guns. You're gonna have all kinds of things, right? But when you set up a standard, right, and you say you got to have a password, you got to dress a certain way, you got to smell a certain way, you got to look a certain way, then you know what kind of crowd you're going to have in your club. But when you say anybody can come in, anybody can do whatever they want, you're going to have all kinds of riffraff. And what comes from something without a standard? Trouble, man. Chaos. This is allowing people to do whatever they want to do is why America has to be destroyed. Joining together in love, regardless of race and credo or whatever the fuck they say. This is why America has to be destroyed, because anything is allowed here. So you come into the truth and you practice the same type of behavior? That doesn't make any sense. So let me go back. I think it was where was we at? Jeremiah. See where it takes me here. Yeah, Jeremiah. So it says, set up a standard upon the walls of Babylon. So let's look up the word standard. I have it already pulled up here. It says a level of quality or attainment, right? An idea or thing used as a measure, norm, or model in comparative evaluations, right? So if we're to be Zion, right? The word Zion goes back to the Hebrew word Tzion, which means a monument, right? So if we're going to be the monument or the measure by which the rest of the world lives by, then we have to have a standard. We can't here we're on the stoop or the porch or the doorstep into the kingdom. We're at the tail end of being in this captivity. So we should be beginning to standardize the behavior that we're going to have in the kingdom. The doctrine is the practice of that. Yeah, we don't rule over anything, right? We're not the princes of anything. We're not the kings of anything. But we should be starting to practice that. No, we're not going to tolerate just anything. Just anybody wants to do anything, anybody wants to say anything, we're not going to tolerate it, man. We're not going to tolerate that. We have to start standardizing the way by which we will live, man. If we're going to be the monument, if we're going to be the rulers of the earth. People, do you understand what that means? To govern, to rule? If you'll accept any doctrine, you might as well take the heathens in and let them join hand in hand with you in the kingdom of heaven. So it says here, use or accepted as normal or average, okay, of a tree, shrub growing in an erect stem of full height. Let's see, there was just some other good stuff in here that I read a little while ago. Let's see. No, that wasn't it. Bear with me for a second. It was something here else I saw that I liked. Alright, let's see, maybe I passed it. Nope, tree thing. Alright, I can't find what I saw earlier. Maybe it's down here. No. That's weird. Alright, in any case. In any case, let's you know what, let's do it this way. Let's do this. Let's see. Let's see. It's standard. And bear with me, man. This is something that came to mind. I looked up a couple of things, and I just decided to do this. So bear with me. I know I'm all over the place right now. It says standard. It says weight, measure, or instrument by which the accuracy of others is determined. So how can we be the rulers, right? If we exactly, how can we be the rulers if we have no rule? How can others behavior be measured by us if we have no measure? You have to have a standard, man. You can't just accept anything for sake of love, for sake of peace. That's Satanism, man. It says from Standard, military standard, banner, a particular use in English of this word, but the sense evolution is somewhat obscure. The standard weights and measures were set by royal ordinance and were known as the king's standard. So perhaps metaphoric, the royal standard coming to stand for royal authority in matters like setting weights and measures. You see? So look, royal, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see my finger. Royal authority comes from a person who's setting weights and measures, man. Now this sounds to me like it's talking about, as far as gold and silver, when it talks about weights and measures, but it doesn't just go for finance or for money. It also goes for morals. So when I hear somebody say it doesn't matter, we didn't talk about the doctrine, I see a wicked person. That's wickedness. Someone that doesn't have a rule, someone that doesn't have a standard. Right? So let's go down to this one. No. There's a little bit more. Hence the meaning authoritative or recognized exemplar of quality or correctness, meaning rule, principle, or means of judgment. That of definitive level of attainment. Right? So definite. So how can you be definite if you're allowing this is crazy, man. I don't understand what again, it's all simply because this is not what GMS is doing. And I just want somebody to come out and say it. Look, we did this because GMS don't do it this way. This is why we're doing this. Because the scriptures, and if you do enough searching and digging, you'll find out that this is not the right way to be, man. This thing is going to be hard. This thing is going to be difficult. You're going to have people that don't like you. Stop trying to perform the truth to make people love you and accept you. It's not going to happen. Here it is. The most righteous man ever to live on the planet Earth, who the world calls Jesus Christ, who we know as Yahushua, he was hated. He was the most righteous being ever to step on the earth. And he was hated. Your people are not going to like you. This man had only 12 friends, and one of them was a backstabber. 11 people who he had around him that he could trust. 11 people who accepted him. Everybody else was like, I don't know about this dude, man. I follow him because he be getting that free, giving them food. This was a righteous man, and that's the type of people that was around him. So you're gonna be disliked. Set up a standard, and the people that stay around you, those are the ones that you want around you. When you set up rules and you start seeing people fall out, hey, look, man, we had this guy that was in our camp, and we told him, like, look, you can't just stand on the side. You gotta participate. And the day the brother Adama, who's the head of the Boston camp, told him, all right, get your scripture together, brother. Next week you're gonna start camp. This dude came back with his ankle was twisted playing basketball. He had crutches. Came to camp with crutches. That's the type of person you don't want around you. When the rules get set and the standard gets set, they get weak and everything's this is my chest hurt. I ain't got no teeth in my mouth, or whatever the fuck he said, man. Excuse my language. Those are the type of people you weed out. That's what standardizing does. It weeds out the waste. Get rid of the waste. The people who are worthless. How can you? Matter of fact, I think this is it. Right. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that thou were cold or hot. Right? There's a standard. There's no gray area. Either you're hot or you're cold. Either you're doing the right thing or you're doing the wrong. There is no in between. There is no middle. Either like Elder Gabar always says, there's no almost pregnant. Either you are pregnant or you're not pregnant. There's thousands of ways to do something the wrong way, but there's only one way to do it the right way. It says, so then because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Get rid of the waste. Oh, okay, here's what hot is. If he ain't this, get rid of him. Have a standard, man. Set up a standard. Don't just accept anything. Look, man, we almost out of here, man. We're almost out of here. Look, if you read Revelations, the first few chapters, the Lord, he said, okay, look, you're doing this good. I like how you're doing this, but this one thing is what I don't like. You get rid of the one thing. Get rid of that waste that's holding us back from getting out of here. So with that, I want to say Tawadi Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, for allowing us to come out and teach this word. I want to say double honors to the elder apostles who rule well. And I also want to give honor and salutations to you other brothers that are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. So with that, I want to say shalom.